if this happened, let's say Keir Starmer, for instance, yeah, he wouldn't be coming out with these weird isolated videos. He wouldn't come out with, a video of him walking to a small independent coffee shop in Chiswick, getting a coffee and saying, "As you can see, I'm still alive." And the next time you see him, he's got this closed door press conference. Like, none of that makes any sense. Iran does seem to have some capabilities, but it still doesn't match up to turning up and being like, "Oh, look, I've got 5 fingers. Oh, look, I'm not really dead." It's like, thou doth protest too much, man.
If you knew what you were made of, then we would save the world.
I don't know if it's just me, but I really feel like this guy might be unalived. I think they got him. And they, being the state that he belongs to, are doing their very best, their level best, to cover up the fact that he's no longer there. I think they feel very confident that they can keep this ruse going using some of the very best AI tools that are out there. And you'll see they keep getting caught. And it's kind of a little bit obvious that the footage they're trying to release doesn't make any sense. I think he got on the 8th, and they're covering it up because it shows a great deal of vulnerability. And they know that, actually, contrary to what most people think, they think, the Israeli people, they'll gather behind the government if this ever happened. It's kind of like, nope, the opposite is true. The opposite is true. Because there's so much cowardice in that nation, you'll see the blood drain from their face, and they will no longer want any part of it. It's kind of like, we're not safe on our land. And he was not the first, by the way. There was another one who got unalived before, who they're trying to lie and hide about, another Secretary of State. So Iran has been quite effective in their targeting of senior people, which I'd imagine has many of the people who have cabinet positions incredibly nervous. But it's happening. And I don't think this guy's with us. So they've released a series of videos since his alleged disappearance. Yeah. So, but I don't think they're real. But let's look at this one. This is one of the ones that they
ראש שלום אומרים ברשת שאתה בכלל מת?
אני מת על קפה, אתה יודע מה? אני מת על העם שלי. איך הם מתנהגים, פנטסטי. אתה רוצה לספור את מספר אצבעות?
אתה יכול להראות לנו?
פה. פה. היית?
יפה מאוד.
לחיים.
אתה חושב של המסר לאנשים שיוצאים ומתאווררים?
לצאת להתאוורר, אבל ליד מרחב מוגן. והעמידה שלכם היא מדהימה, נותנת כוח לי, לממשלה, לצה"ל, למוסד. אנחנו עושים דברים שאני לא יכול לשתף ברגע זה, אבל עושים דברים מכים באיראן חזק מאוד, גם ביום הזה, גם בלבנון, ממשיכים. אתם אומרים לי להמשיך? אני אומר לכולכם, גם אני לא יודע לגבי הקלוריות, זה נראה לי מסוכן מאוד.
Okay, so when I first saw this, I go, okay, he's alive. Like, it just looks like he's alive. This video passes the smell test to me, where I'm like, yeah, it just looks like a video, right? But wait a second. People online start going through this video with a fine-tooth comb, bro. And social media erupts with various theories as to, hey, they say this video is AI, okay? Now I'm going to walk you through the points that they make. Let's start with this one right here. I'm going to lay out all the new theories about Netanyahu's latest video, which once again reignites doubts about its authenticity. Some of them are very disturbing. 1, the date indicates it's 2024. Okay, so let me click this. So if you were to pause the video at one point here, okay, you can see on the bottom left, you can see this screen, okay? And then when I go to the next one where they zoom in, it says 2024 on the top right of this screen. You see that? Now, what I will say is, me and Crystal tried to pause the video as well and zoom in and look at it, and it looks more blurry than this. So one of my fears is people zoomed in and then use like the AI thing where they try to clean up the image and make it sharper. And when you do that, it does just sort of make shit up. It does sort of just like fuck up the image, right? That happened with, remember when Alex Preddy got killed and people took the blurry video and paused it when he was about to get shot and zoomed in and used the AI like enhancer. And one of the ICE guards literally had no head. Like it looked sharper. The picture looked sharper, but one of the ICE thugs had no head. It just like took his head off, right? So it's not, the AI enhancing thing is not perfect. So this one is not the most convincing because, like I said, me and Crystal tried to do it and it looks way too blurry to read to us when you actually pause on the video and zoom in, okay? So how did they get to 2024? It's possible somebody just made it up and wrote it. It's possible somebody used an AI enhancer and it came out looking like that. I don't know, but there's one piece of evidence that they're using. They're saying, look, it says 2024. Okay, ready? Let me keep scrolling here. The coffee doesn't spill even a single drop and its level doesn't even budge after a sip. So that's the other thing people are pointing to. He takes a little sip here. It doesn't go down. And also the design of the foam is exactly the same after he sips it. And normally, when you have a design in your foam and you sip it, then it gets all messed up immediately. Okay. The head doesn't seem identical, especially in profile, and the nose is particularly unsettling. So here's from the video on the left, and then on the right is what Netanyahu normally looks like. To me, I put the least amount on this because to me, this does look like the same guy. They always usually do this with Biden where it's like, look, this guy looks totally different. I'm like, it looks exactly the fucking same. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, more. Very surprising. The pocket comes directly to the hand with a movement that seems totally unnatural. This is one that a lot of people are pointing to here. So I'm going to play this video for you and you're going to see there's a moment in the video that it does look like the pocket moves in a sort of weird way. Ready? Watch. Now, it's possible that the fabric is like a thicker fabric, a harder fabric. And so like he had pushed on it a little bit and then it popped back open. You know what I'm saying? But this is one people are pointing to. Like that seems like the pocket's moving weird. It kind of smells like AI. Ready? Look. Okay. So then there's that. Rumors are circulating that the photos shared by Sataf on Instagram, that's the coffee place he went to, show that Netanyahu was present today. However, according to Google's AI, the visit was part of a campaign to support businesses affected by COVID-19. Did they therefore use old photos and stage the video? Yeah, so that's the theory. The theory is like, you see all these guys wearing masks, all his people wearing masks. He went here during the COVID pandemic and shot some video like this. Did they feed that into AI and say, give us like a newer video, like with this being, the starting point for it? I don't know. They also say Yair Netanyahu, this is his son, of course, hasn't posted anything for 6 days, whereas he is usually very active on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people talking about that. And then they bring up there's these different programs that say, oh, it's very likely to be artificial intelligence. Some of them are as low as like 75% chance. Some of them are as high as like 98% chance. But I've seen that a lot. Left before Netanyahu takes a sip, right just after Netanyahu has taken a sip. So you can see it's the same foam thing on both sides. The trace of coffee appears on the upper lip, then disappears. Yeah, so I'll play that video for you in a little bit where we get a zoom in. So that's the general breakdown, but there's more specifics. Okay, Sataf is only one coffee shop in Jerusalem, which is currently closed due to Iranian strikes. So where did Netanyahu drink this coffee in Tel Aviv? So they're saying, well, the place is closed, so how could he have gone? Well, I don't know. He's the fucking prime minister. They would probably open it for him so he could do his little propaganda video, right? So that's a possibility there. Two reasons it's AI. First, the coffee doesn't spill. Next, the screen doesn't have that screen flicker that's caused by the mismatched frame rates between it and what should have been the device that supposedly recorded this. It's not there because it was constructed, not recorded. Okay. So, yes, this is a point people are talking to where it looks like the liquid goes over the top, but it doesn't spill. And they say that's like an unnatural movement for liquid. And then the other thing is the screen in the background doesn't flicker, and there should be a difference between the frame rate of the camera and the frame rate of that screen. Okay? That's what they're saying here. This guy says Netanyahu is left-handed. In today's coffee shop video, he's drinking the coffee with his right hand. Okay. So here he is, holding the coffee in his right hand, showing his left hand. And here he's in the past, eating, holding with his left hand. Here's another one of him eating with his left hand. Here's another one of him signing something with his left hand. This is another thing that people are pointing to. All right, and then we also have this one. So this is where they say, oh, he's got foam on his lip, and then it just goes away immediately after he takes the sip. All right, watch this. So he takes the sip. Obviously, this is slowed down massively and zoomed in quite a bit. And you'll see like a little tiny line of foam on his lip, and then it's gone. And then it's gone right there. Okay. Now, I don't know. Did he wipe it off or I have no idea. Did he lick it? I have no idea. So,
yeah, this is the kind of thing that you'd expect if an AI algorithm was working with a indoor taken reference photo. And it's even though it's kind of like the camera keeps taking these weird like turns to the side. This is just trends that AI likes to do. Now this video here is about Ben Gvir, who happens to be a head of state, and he was got earlier. Okay, let's watch this one. Oh, let's keep it on view actually. So Israel bombed Israeli National Security Home Minister Ben Gvir's home. He's in critical condition. So it's in here, Itamar Ben Gvir, the one bombs house. They should be crushed to pieces, starved to death. Israel wants to execute Palestinians. Israel Ben Gvir, settlers suspected of killing far right. So you can see basically he pushed the worst far right things. Hezbollah killed son of Israeli French minister in Smotrich in Lebanon. I remember that. International law. What are we on? So there you go. So that, remember that name Ben Gvir, okay? Now, the Israeli government don't want to admit that he's been unalived, and he's equally gone on a fake video campaign with videos that all give you the impression and feeling that they've been generated. But yeah, check this out.
ראיתי שהאיראנים אומרים שאתה
The
מת.
Iranian
אני מת להוציא מחבלים להורג. עונש מוות למחבלים. רואים את הסיכה הזאת? אנחנו רוצים. רותם תקיעה. תצלמי. מינימום של מינימום תנאים. את כל מה שהיה כאן לקחנו.
It says the prisoners are treated too well. They took everything that they had away from them. Almost 11,000 Palestinians are detained in Israel prison on security grounds.
אבל יש עוד משהו שחייבים לעשות. לטעמי צריך להוריד אותם
More than
בכדור בראש.
110 detainees have died since Ben Gvir became security minister in 2022.
משרד האוצר.
על פרשת ויגש, היא פרשה מאוד מאוד מרגשת. לא, מה שאתה הולכים, טובת מדינת ישראל נעשה.
If this happened, you know, let's say Keir Starmer, for instance, yeah, he wouldn't be coming out with these weird isolated videos. He wouldn't come out with, you know, a video of him walking to a small independent coffee shop in Chiswick, getting a coffee and saying, as you can see, I'm still alive. And the next time you see him, he's got this closed door press conference. Like, none of that makes any sense. He'd just be out there, number 10 down in or whatever. Now, I can understand there being a bit of fear and trepidation, given Iran does seem to have some capabilities, but it still doesn't match up to, you know, turning up and being like, oh, look, I've got 5 fingers. Oh, look, I'm not really dead. It's like, thou doth protest too much, man. You're given dead. That's what you're giving. You're giving dead to everybody who's watching, man. And this is one of the ones, remember I was talking about the types of AI. This one gives me deep fake vibes. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we'll just watch it from the start. And once again, it's just weird where it's taking place, how it's taking place. And given that he's missed all those Security Council meetings, all those meetings for his state, he hasn't been to any of them, but he's had time to do, you know, this is what, his 4th Hey, I'm Alive video now. It's just bizarre.
Welcome to the foreign press. First of all, I just want to say, I'm alive, and you're all
And I
witnesses.
want you to note they're covering up his hands now, because his hands weren't covered up in the first press releases, and you'll see that in the next video that I show you. But now, this to me is where the conspiracy gets large, because now you've got these huge banners covering up his hands now.
And now that I dispatched this piece of fake news, I want to give you an update on Operation Roaring Lion. Under President Trump's visionary leadership, America and Israel are acting together in Iran with great determination and unprecedented strength. Operation Rising Lion is designed to remove the existential threats posed by the Ayatollah regime, the regime that has waged war against America and Israel.
The regime that has waged war against America, and when has Iran waged war against America? When they've never done that. Okay, you're the only ones who have been waging war consistently and continually. It's like you can't help it.
And the people of Iran for 47 years. It chants death to America, death to Israel.
We've heard it all before. Everyone around the world chants death to those two nations. Let's keep it funky. The only place you have friends is in your own nations, because you're the two biggest serial unalivers on the planet. You go around the world unaliving people's standing elected presidents and blowing up nations and starting new genocide. It's like you're evil. So, this nation who chants death to America and death to everyone chants that. Everyone, okay, every single African nation chants that. Trust me, they do. They might not do it to your face, but they do. The other thing I wanted to show you is it's supposed to be a press conference, so we should see the press. We should see their hands coming up in the middle of the camera, etc. You know, the camera moving around, panning. You don't get that. You just get this. So this is one of the major things that has got people questioning the legitimacy of this, how he's fielded the questions and how unnatural it looks.
JNS, right behind you, yes.
Mr. Prime Minister, Hezbollah has opened up another front against Israel, launching rockets against Israeli civilians. Now ground troops
For a second, I can see loads of cameras there. I can see SLRs, but not a single camera being utilized to pan, to actually show like who. I'd like to see third party from one of these, from one of these news networks using their own cameras to see what this press conference actually looked like. And that would really allay the fear, well, not the fears, allay the suspicions that this dude has not already been murked, because I think he got murked.
Inside Lebanon, is there any hesitancy toward launching a full ground operation to eradicate Hezbollah? And what would eradicating Hezbollah do to transform Israel-Lebanon relations and the greater Middle East?
Look, Alex, I can't divulge our battle plans. Obviously, Hezbollah is not what Hezbollah...
So that's really it from that footage. So I just want to quickly finish off with this little piece by the Times India that does a really good job of just summarizing the suspicions of the general public about this whole affair. I'm going on the side that both Ben Gvir and Netanyahu have been murked, but I'm also going on the side that the nation that contains Tel Aviv will never admit it. They'll never outright or openly admit it. They'll deny it for as long as humanly possible. And when they do end up admitting it, they'll act like it was completely separate to anything that Iran did or could have done. But I don't know if that starts... Back in the day when they used to control all forms of information, that would have worked. But now they only really have control of the mainstream outlets, and that might not be enough to sustain the kind of ruse that they're after.
First of all, I just want to say, I'm alive, and you're all witnesses.
The rumors refuse to die, even as Benjamin Netanyahu steps out to shut them down again. On March 20th, Netanyahu faced the foreign press, speaking in English, firmly dismissing swirling claims about his death.
First of all, I just want to say, I'm alive.
He didn't just address speculation, he doubled down, calling the conspiracy theories baseless, even as they continued to explode online. And this wasn't just any appearance. This marked his second press conference since the escalation of the US-Israel conflict with Iran. which began on February 28th, where Netanyahu also provided updates on Operation Roaring Lion, a key military development, now running parallel to an even louder digital war.
Now that I dispatched this piece of fake news, I want to give you an update on Operation Roaring Lion. Under President Trump's visionary leadership, America and Israel are acting together in Iran with great determination and unprecedented strength. Operation Rising Lion is designed to remove the existential threats posed by the Ayatollah regime, the regime that has waged war against America and Israel and the people of Iran for 47 years. It chants death to America, death to Israel, and it delivers death to its own people.
Because while the Prime Minister spoke, the internet watched, frame by frame. Users quickly took the footage into what many are calling a conspiracy lab, zooming in, slowing it down, dissecting every movement. Some claimed his suit sleeve appeared to move automatically. Others pointed to moments where the video seemed blurry during motion. And from there, the narrative took a sharp turn. This is AI, some users declared. This isn't real. And just when the noise seemed to peak, a fresh claim dropped fuel on the fire. American journalist Ethan Levins posted on X with a bold allegation, quote, "Netanyahu died on March 8th. He went further, linking the claim to Netanyahu's son, Yair Netanyahu, suggesting a 7-day silence on social media aligned with the Jewish mourning period, Shiva. That post quickly amplified. Soon, multiple users began repeating the same line. Netanyahu died on March 8th, each adding their own theories, their own timelines, their own evidence. And then came the broader claim. When a government releases multiple AI videos to prove their leader is alive, their leader is no longer alive. A statement shared, reshared, debated, and dissected.
Sure. Our Chief of Staff, the head of the Mossad, the Chief of Air Force, our senior commanders.
BB spotted again.
Prime Minister, I wanted you to know the President asked me to come and make sure you were okay.
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike.
But questions keep piling up. More sightings, more doubts.
We're watching from above.
Benjamin Netanyahu has now appeared in a newly released video from the high-security Kiryat Command Center in Tel Aviv, a setting meant to project control, authority, and most importantly, proof of life.
Our aircraft are hitting.
But instead of shutting down speculation, the video has only intensified a viral conspiracy theory. Is Netanyahu actually alive, or is this something else? Without naming individuals on camera, he refers to the elimination of what he calls terrorist chieftains, widely understood to be senior Iranian figures including Ali Larijani and Gholam Reza Soleimani, whose deaths have been confirmed by Iranian authorities. A high-stakes claim delivered in a high-security room at a moment when tensions are already at breaking point.
I'm here with Israel's defense minister, our chief of staff, the head of the Mossad, the chief of Air Force, our senior commanders. In the past 24 hours, we knocked out 2 of the terrorist chieftains, the top terrorist chieftains of this tyranny.
The footage shared by the Israeli Prime Minister's office on X shows Netanyahu seated among top security officials in what is identified as the Air Force Command Center inside the Kiryat, Israel's military nerve center. Flanked by senior figures, including intelligence and defense leadership, Netanyahu delivers a chilling message aimed directly at Tehran. And then comes the line that truly caught global attention. Mocking the conspiracy theories surrounding his own death, Netanyahu addresses the rumors head-on, brushing off claims that he is no longer alive, and even sarcastically referencing the idea that the video itself could be an AI deep fake. He goes further, offering a calm but calculated Happy Nowruz greeting to the people of Iran, turning a cultural moment into what many are calling a psychological signal, a message of presence, power, and surveillance.
It was a message of something. It was just passed from beyond the grave. Yeah, I think it's a big cover up. I don't know. Everything about everything about when I heard it, it just felt like, well, it feels like this is true. There's no smoke without fire. I'd be more inclined to believe if they said, just like with the other guy, Ben Gvir, if they said he'd been injured and then he's recovering in hospital, when you saw some footage of them in hospital, it's like, how can they both have had their domiciles completely blown up, their homes, their residences, like, obliterated, and said to have been, involved, injured, but then come back in the videos and they look absolutely fine, like they've never, nothing's ever happened to them. This is just looks like propaganda to me. So those are my thoughts. Anyway, how do you feel? I feel like BB has been murked, and hey, all's fair in love and war, right?